Just some of my early thoughts here as it becomes official and Jedd Fisch signs his contract to be the next coach at the University of Washington. I think it's a good hire. I don't know if there was a home run or quote unquote great hire that was just going to blow everybody away, but this was a good hire. This is a hire that Troy Dannon and the athletic department needed to make to just stem the tide, to stop the bleeding, to settle things down as the dominoes have just fallen this week in one of the more tumultuous weeks that I can remember over there on Montlake. For those of us that have been in football, college football, pro football the last couple decades, you've come across Jedd Fisch. He's been a lot of places. This will be his 14th stop in 25 years. You can look at that one of two ways. You can look at it and say, man, he doesn't stay anywhere very long and very nomadic, and he moves from one job to the next. That is one way to look at it. I think when you spend time around him, as I have on multiple occasions, I think what you see is actually the other side of that. And this is an absolute grinder that's been handed nothing in his career. He didn't play high school football. He's a great tennis player. He didn't play college football. He started as a GA with Spurrier there at Florida, and he has just had to knock down every door. He's had to grind. If you looked up grinder in college football, pro football, I think you would see Jedd Fisch's face. And because of that, I think he, even in this crazy world of college football, I think he really genuinely appreciates this opportunity. Most importantly, and I think why this may even tip from a good to a great hire, is that he's super, super familiar with the West Coast. He's got relationships up and down with trainers, with coaches, with high schools, with junior colleges, relationships with the people now that handle some of the money, the agents behind all of that out here on the West Coast. A couple of the other names that I know were interested and interesting were from the Midwest, and I think it had no West Coast ties and none of that background. And as quickly as things move now in college football, you have to have those relationships. And ultimately and lastly here, just like Kalen and Alabama hired Kalen DeBoer because they weren't getting just Kalen DeBoer, they were getting his army around him. I think the same will be said with Jedd Fisch. I think what was very appealing and is not just going to be Jedd. There'll be other members of that staff, may very well be some of their uber talented players, which sounds horrible to say. And the business is yucky and icky and sleazy, but that is the business that everybody is now in and swimming in. But the fact that he will bring that personnel both on the sidelines and on the field likely with him had to be a huge bonus for Washington, which now is in desperate need of filling those covers back up.